Last Thursday night, she was a bit tense when Leon Cameron invited us into the backyard. We're back again in better circumstances this Tuesday night with the grand final calling. Leon, thanks for having us back and welcome again to 360.
G'day, Gerard. Robbo, yes, it's probably a little bit better circumstances this live cross.
It looked like a beautiful day in Sydney. You had a great turnout to a light training session, the sun shining. Do you have a sense of grand final week up there?
Yeah, it's obviously all new for us, Gerard, and to have a really good turnout, really good crowd at training on our open session today, and the perfect weather at our training venue was fantastic. I mean, clearly we haven't experienced that because it's our first time, but no doubt that buzz is exactly what everyone talks about when you get your fans and your crowd that watch your training throughout the week, and there's a lot of well wishes and a lot of people talking about their stories of travelling down to Melbourne and watching the grand final this week. It's great for the game, in Western Sydney, great for our footy club, and we're looking forward to putting our best foot forward against a really good opponent in the Tigers. How did you go about pitching the week to the players? How did you set it up for them? And what did you draw on from the experiences that you've had around the Hawthorn coach's box, for instance, and what you might have learnt? Yeah, I think Sunday was a pretty important day for us. We flew back out straight after the game and landed pretty late Saturday night, and then up for recovery sort of midday, and then talked about the expectation and yeah, you get out your ticketing out of the control and you get it out of the road, and you know, that's a big challenge because there's lots of family and friends that are going to be knocking on the door to the players and want to come and celebrate the achievement of making a grand final. A number of media things which is different. You're in front of the press a lot more, and so again, I think the sort of the way we're approaching it is, we want to enjoy every moment because you've played 25 games to get to this last one, and we don't want to sort of blink and it's over and done with. So we're absorbing everything, we're enjoying it. There's lots of laughter, but equally when it's time to switch on and go through some of the things that you just want to tick off on in preparation for the game, then we switch on there. But our players are in great spirits, and we look forward to that challenge.
First of all, Leon, congratulations, mate, on a performance last week. This football club that people continue to point fingers at, I think the football club and the football team last week was one of the truly great finals performances. So well done there. Do you take anything from the preliminary final to use into the grand final, or is that's one game? So we compartmentalise that now, and then we go on to the grand final. Or do you use stuff from Taylor and Mumford and Taranto and Hopper? Is that dragged through from the preliminary final, or is it a whole new ball game?
Oh, look, no, that's a whole new ball game because the Tigers are a pretty awesome team. So you spend too much on knowing that we're not obviously going to play Collingwood again this year. Sometimes you need to move on, but I think what we've been pretty consistent at is we review for about half an hour to 45 minutes on the Monday on the Bulldogs game, the Brisbane game, and we did the same thing with Collingwood. We've all had 7-day breaks, so that allows you to do that. If it's a 6-day break, it's a bit different, but we reviewed a lot of the stuff that we did right in the first 3 quarters and some of the areas that we need to make sure that we tighten up a little bit on in that last 20 minutes when Collingwood were playing a brand of footy that was hard to stop. So basically you want to continue reviewing and practicing for the little things that come around, and there's going to be things that are going to be thrown up our way on Saturday that if you don't touch on it from previous reviews or on the weekend, you don't want that to come back and haunt you at the most important time, and that could be halfway through the last quarter. So we've had some close games this year, in particular the last 2 weeks. So you review a number of things, but mindful that we are playing a new opponent, and we're on to Richmond.
You're probably going to be asked this several times this week, and we're going to ask you again, so please don't get bored. Lachie Whitfield, Steve Coniglio, where are they situated right now? And I'm really interested in Coniglio more than probably Lachie. I think Lachie probably will play, but going in with a club great, as Coniglio is, he's been there from the start, there's a lot of emotion there. How much are you weighing up, or have you ruled him out, or how much are you weighing up playing him for the first time, I think, since round 17?
Yeah, the time away from the game is no concern to play Stephen first up if it's 8, 10, 12 weeks. That's not the concern. And to be totally honest, Robbo, he's got a big session tomorrow. We have a session tomorrow. It's our main session. It'll go for about 35, 40 minutes. And if he ticks a number of those boxes, then we're going to have a really serious discussion after training. And, currently, as I said, he's probably 50-50, but in saying that, on Monday he was probably 30-70, and he's moving up pretty quickly because he recovered really well from Monday's session. He had a really good session. Tomorrow's a bigger session for him, and then we make that decision together. And, I reiterate that that'll be done together with Stephen and our coaching group. And we look forward to that. It gives us an opportunity to see whether or not we think he can play, 100 minutes or 90 minutes of intense footy at the highest level. So, we've got to be careful of the decision. We all understand it's huge, but with Cogs, you always give them that extra bit of time because of who he is and what he means to our footy club.
How difficult is it, Leon, to not let emotion seep into that decision?
Oh, look, I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy because it is difficult whether a player misses out because some players are coming in and they're unlucky after performing some great roles last week in a winning prelim final. That's going to be tough. This is an added layer, Robbo. I'm not, we're not kidding ourselves here because of who he is, and so that will be interesting. You take that into account, but at the end of the day. You've probably got to try to take a little bit of that away and hit it head on and say, is he capable of performing his role on a pretty big stage on Saturday? So, and I think the thing that helps me is that Stephen will be equally as honest as what I am, and that's the thing we love about him, because he'll either say, yes, I'm ready, coach, and I'm ready to go, or he'll say, I don't think I can do what you want. We'll make that decision sometime tomorrow night or first thing Thursday morning.
And what of Lockie? There's the report that he's lightened off with the emergency surgery that he has. Have you got a big decision to make there, or do you consider him likely?
No, I do definitely consider him a lot likely to play. He's dropped I think 3.5 kilos from the surgery, but he's gained another 1.5 kilos back. He ran today, and he did some cross training. He did some cross training yesterday. He did a fair bit of touch today. But again, he'll have a good footy session tomorrow. If he ticks all the boxes, which we're expecting to do that, then he'll line up on Saturday. So, barring any sort of setback, everything's sort of heading in the right direction of him playing. The surgery went extremely well. And we probably wouldn't be in this position if that didn't go well in the first instance last Wednesday. So, he's very, very bullish. We're bullish about it, and we expect him to line up on Saturday.
Last one before we let you go, Leon. So, if Coniglio gets through training tomorrow, and he says to you in your little chat, "I'm ready to go," will you play him?
You're putting me right on the spot here, aren't you, Robbo?
He's a gun, mate. He's a gun. We know that.
Look, I trust him wholeheartedly, and if he actually looks me in the eye and says that with the confidence that I know he has, then it makes it hard not to. It's going to be interesting and intriguing. I'm sure there's in grand finals gone by, there's tough decisions to make from players that mean so much to your footy club, to get up and play and find a way, to guys that have been left out. So there'll be no different with us, but we're going to have to take some emotion away from it. But put it this way, I'm really happy that we're in this position, because it means that our players are really keen to play, and they're putting their hand up to play on Saturday, which is 3 or 4 weeks ago, when we probably had a number of injuries, we probably didn't have that opportunity.